Good evening, Norm.
Hey, Dennis, how are you?
I am good, thank you.
Excellent.
Uh, it's been a interesting week. I
Yes.
try to do you know, we want to talk about stress, but I want to share. I'm sure you know last Thursday I was trying to do the webinar for the stress and Tech Gremlins got my Zoom slide and all of that. So after
Yeah, good.
20 minutes, everything just didn't work.
Yeah.
So
uh,
I'm I'm gonna try and share some information again tonight because I have some slide that I wanted to share and so that people can understand a little bit better how the stress affect us. And the interesting thing is that sometimes people ask me, well, how do you know and why you're the right person to talk about stress and how stress affect it. So I want to share a little bit, and you know my story. I want to share a little bit that,
yeah, absolutely.
you know, 27, almost 27 years ago, my wife and I were both pharmacists. Decided to start our own pharmacy. And the first 5 years that we worked so much, and I'm trying to help other people, and I ignore my own health. And so with that, I've actually got sick and exhaustion, can't sleep, waking up middle of the night. And in the morning, I'm dragging myself out of bed to go to work. And after 5 years of that, I'm like, I had enough, you know. I have to find something what's going on. And I figured it out that the stress is affecting us.
So, what was your symptoms again, Dennis?
I was exhausted. I cannot sleep. I will keep waking up middle of the night, like 2, 3 in the morning. And then 7 o'clock, like we open the store at 9 o'clock in the morning. 7 o'clock, I'm still in bed. I can't get out of bed.
Yeah.
And I'm dragging myself out,
Yeah.
jump into the shower, have something for breakfast, cereal, quick one with the
Yeah.
milk. And then you ran to the store. Luckily, our store is about 10 minutes away, so I can make it. But then you dragging yourself the whole day, and lunchtime you go have lunch from a fast food store because it's quicker, and then by 2 o'clock you're exhausted again, and like I will not go out driving in the afternoon because I literally can fall asleep in at the wheel because I can keep myself awake in the afternoon. And it was horrible.
Yeah.
And, for me, is other people will say, oh, you're going to gain weight, whatever. But for me, with my metabolism, the most stress I get, the more I lose weight.
Oh, interesting.
So I was down to actually below 100 pounds, and I'm 5'9", you know, average my weight should be 125, 130 pounds.
Yeah.
I was like below 100 at the
Yeah.
time. And I was just so exhausted, losing my muscle and all of that. So I'm like, you know what? No. So I learned it. I've changed myself. I'm happy to say that I'm 126 pounds, 12% body fat. Used to be 8%, but I
Got it.
really needed about 15 to
Yeah.
18% body fat, and I'm about 12%. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where, I started helping other people with their stress and etc. Because a lot of time we don't look at the stress properly. And
Yeah.
a lot of time is people will, if something happened, people will say, is it the supplement that I'm taking? Is it the medication? You know, and they jump to that first. The first thing is supplement that they look at. And then after that is, well, they can figure it out. And you start talking to them and they say, like, no, I'm not stressed. But you really look at it, start digging. And so that's what I want to kind of share, that what, how the stress affect our body and our physiology, and what symptoms you're going to see. And you should really be looking at, uh, is it stress? And if it is stress, try and manage that better and see if,
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
get better right?
Yeah.
And that's the key to it. So
Yeah.
a lot of people, when I talk to them and saying, it may be stress, and they look at me and saying, I'm not stressed until we start talking and into 15, 20 minutes, and I'm like, okay, what is this? Okay, what is that? So it's,
Yep.
and then they see that, and then they start laughing and saying, I thought I wasn't stressed. Well,
Maybe I am
you
stressed.
yeah, you are stressed. So
Yeah, sometimes we don't recognize, right? We don't recognize it
no.
because we're in it, and oftentimes it can be a buildup too, right? So
Hmm.
it can last for months or years, and then
Yeah.
eventually something snaps, and
Yeah.
like you said in previous episodes that we can't we're good at dealing with stress in short periods of time, but when you're dealing with stress over a long period of time, so a constant stress for a long period of time, that's not how we're meant to. That's not how
No.
we're meant to be in.
No.
We can see Willard. Willard's on.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Reeve.
Oh,
Busy man.
yeah. Yep. Hello, Willard. So yeah, I find it interesting that, and also over many talks, you talked about different ways that, first of all, to recognize it, but then also, what do you try to do? What do you try to see that works for you that actually brings your
Exactly.
stress down, right?
Yeah. Everybody is different, but
Yep.
there's a general basic idea that how to manage the stress from the lifestyle, food, etc., all of that.
Yeah.
And not one thing's gonna work for everybody because we're individual. So there's things that uh, basically that you can do that will should help, but one that techniques or one thing that you do may help you, but it may not help me, and vice versa. So
Yeah.
there's a few different things that you can do that uh, hopefully something will help somebody.
Yep. No, excellent. We're just gonna see Willard's just having some issues with his voice microphone, probably technology. The gremlins are
Well,
in.
gremlins are in. Yeah, last Thursday I wasn't having anything. It was just,
Yeah, that was
yeah, it was just crazy.
wow. You handled it
Yeah.
like a pro. There was no stress on your that we could see.
No, you learn over the year, right?
Yeah,
It's
laugh, right?
getting stressed is just doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Uh, so as Willard gets set up, I guess we can continue.
yeah.
Oh, thought we heard him.
Did you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes, we
can. Hi,
you
Willard. How's it going?
Gentlemen, how are you? Sorry,
Good.
couldn't
How are
I
no,
you?
no.
it was good. What happened was my computer actually was offline, and I
Oh,
Oh,
didn't know
gee.
it.
oh,
So,
that's why you said the link was no good.
yeah, and, and I was waiting for it, and then I'm looking, and then I look at my Outlook, and it says, uh, possible, you're offline because I was trying to get all the emails, and all of a
And
sudden, a
stuff.
flood of
Yeah.
emails come in, and there you are.
Very
Yeah.
good.
There you
Well,
go.
Dennis is going to be talking about stress and stuff. So I figured if we're talking about stress, I'm going to do I'm going to wear a piece of clothing. So this is a Jimmy Buffett shirt. So
Oh,
Jimmy Buffett, and the back is a picture of Hawaii. So I thought, you know what? I love water, and this is the way I can de-stress.
Yeah,
Sit in the
absolutely.
shade
It
and
works for you.
watch the water, watch the waves
Yeah.
go by. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I figured, well, because my Thursday webinar wasn't working, and so I thought I'll share some of the information that I was going to share last Thursday. It's
okay.
always good to listen to what's affecting, how stress affecting your system and what you can do to manage it, and we'll go from there. I'm
Okay.
going to share some of the slide here so that I won't miss some of the information. Here we go. Okay. So, from my point of view is I'm trying to make it simple. Like you need to focus on three things to manage the stresses. The first thing is understanding it. What is stress? Because this weekend, if one of my clients or patients listening to it, she'll know that I'm talking about her. This week, one of my a long time client or patient that emailed me and said, she's having this issue, uh, and she thinks her doctor think that maybe supplement, maybe some of the medication, etc. I'm like, maybe stress, because I know I've been working with her for like 10 years off and on, so I know. uh and she's like, maybe not. So we actually literally sat down and talk about it. And she said, I'm not stressed. So you two gentlemen can be kind of judge for this if she's stressed or not. She's
Okay.
retired. And so, yeah, you're retired, you shouldn't be stressed. And she enjoyed playing violin in the orchestra.
Okay.
So she usually practice in this orchestra, they perform, etc. And the lead lady in their orchestra also uh, lead another orchestra. And 6 weeks ago, the lead lady asked my client saying, I got something, so can you lead my other orchestra for next whatever week? So now my client is not just practicing 7 days a week in her own orchestra, but now she's trying to lead the other orchestra. And I'm like, you don't think it's stress? And
That's
she said,
stress.
I enjoyed it. I said, yeah, that's a good stress. It's
Yeah.
still the stress. So, understanding the stress, like we feel it when it's bad in, consciously. But when good stuff happen, but you're too busy for that, you don't think that it is stress. But our body subconsciously is saying, I'm stressed, and things start changing. And then the
Hmm.
other thing is that understanding like how stress affect a different part of our body, right? This one just said the gut issue, but if you look at all the different picture, there's gut, there's heart, there's brain, there's joint, all of that. There's a different part of our body that get affected by the stress. And then the last thing is simple and easy way to change things to help ourselves manage the stress better. You know, some of my slide may say, oh, stress-free life. You know what? There is no such thing as stress-free life. I used to tell people that when you are no longer stressed, you are dead.
You're no longer alive. Yeah.
You're no longer alive, because this is how our body function is. There's always a bit of the stress, and as long as you're managing it, it's good. So I'm gonna try and go through some of these stress stuff quickly. This is the key part. Like there's a eustress and distress, right? So what that means is there's a good stress and there's a bad stress. A lot of us, like I said before, only acknowledge the bad stress. But when good thing happening, but we're doing it too much because we like it and we're overdoing it, that become a stress also. And our body's gonna tell you, even though you don't want to acknowledge that as a stress. So you need to know that. A lot of time that happen. So this is a quick thing is like there's different type of stress. Acute stress, we got stress, we got increased heart rate, etc. And then our body recover, everything's fine. And then if that's keep happening, we're gonna start feeling some of the effect of the stress. But when you see chronic stress, then it's gonna start affecting your blood pressure, it's gonna start affecting your sleep, it's gonna start affecting your digestive system. Then it's not good. Then you really need to pay attention. And I don't know if I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but for a month now, I've been really busy at work, but there's so many different issues, etc. And so I've been quite stressed. And I think I said before, I usually do 15 minutes meditation in the morning, 15 minutes before I go to bed.
Yep.
For 2 weeks now, I've been doing meditation 1 hour before go to bed and 1 hour when I wake up, because I needed that. After 15 minutes of meditation or so, I didn't feel right. So I did another meditation. I did another meditation. I can't do one meditation long, but I do like 15, 20 minutes meditation, different one and one after another, up
Yep.
to an hour. And that's actually helping me keep going. Otherwise, I would have been pulling my hair out last Thursday.
I find interesting, Dennis, we're always here to learn, right? I think this is the
Yeah.
first time I ever see on a slide stress and tooth and gum disease.
hmm
Have
And
you heard of that, Willard? Stress and tooth and
Yes,
gum
stress
disease.
is I mean, different people handle stress differently. I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah.
if I'm stressed, what I would do, well, you see, Dennis, he would go out and he would, um, I mean, he would meditate. Me, I go work out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, I
Yep.
go
And
work out.
yeah.
That's the best. That's the best thing for me.
Yep.
I've been doing that for years and years,
Yep.
and I find it very helpful, and that actually keeps me in the gym as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
No, that's
and
true.
that's what I said. Everybody is different. One thing work for,
Yep.
one may not for the other, and vice versa. You have to find what help you manage the
Yep.
stress,
Right.
and then practice that consistently. It's the huge thing. So
Exactly.
these are different systems that us when we get chronic stress that stress affects. So the key thing is like nervous system. We don't think about it, but that's where when you have a chronic stress, your nervous system affect the heart rate, blood pressure, change the digestive system. Like my client, that her digestive system was totally out the window, and then you may see that in some people, like glucose level will go up. And I know that chronic stress actually, in the long run, can cause type 2 diabetes.
Yes. Oh
And then
wow.
from muscle point of view, like you start getting headaches and migraine. I've seen a few patients that came to work with me with a chronic migraine headache, and it's because of the stress. Yeah.
Yep.
So
You know,
it's,
I agree with that.
yeah,
Muscle
yeah.
tensions is up.
Yeah.
And you just feel so. I know, something. Your head is
hmm
ringing and
hmm
stuff. With
Yeah.
me, I always attribute from me playing football, but I can also contribute to being, stressed for something.
Yeah,
Right. So
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
And from the breathing point of view, you can get hyperventilated, and in some people, it's actually end up as a panic attack.
Yeah.
So now again, heart rate increasing. Like when you got heart rate increase and blood pressures going up, in the long run, it's actually cause inflammation in your blood vessel, because it's like a pipe, right? The water keep flowing, and you pump more water with the stronger pressure. Sooner than later, the pipe's gonna worn out, and that's what happened with these heart attack and stroke, is that these blood vessels got worn out, and so the body trying to repair it by putting more tape and plaster inside
Mhm.
to protect the blood vessel from busting, and that's where all these blockage and cholesterol deposit and stuff happen.
Mhm.
And the same thing, it's like the hormonal system, like a lot of female that get perimenopausal symptom, etc. What's happening is that progesterone is the precursor for the cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. So when you're under chronic stress, your body's going to try and make a lot more cortisol, and so it's taking a lot of progesterone, making cortisol. So now you got the hormone imbalance in female, and they got heavy bleeding, etc. that happen. And then again, like I said, the whole gut function, you're gonna get acid reflux, you're gonna have digestive issue, bloating, either constipation or diarrhea, depending on the person to person. And believe it or not, it's affect the immune system. Like in acute situation, your immune system go up because it's trying to protect from infection if you get injured. But when you're chronically stressed, your immune system no longer can keep it up and become a low immune system. So that's what happened to me the first 5 years. Like at the end of 2 or 3 years time, every winter or spring, I get sinus infection. I
Mhm.
can no longer fight the viruses anymore. So,
And you can
how
you
do you
just go back?
fix it?
Sorry, Dennis,
Yeah,
if you can you go back to one slide?
yeah,
Because as I said, I learn every day, and today we had the wonderful discussion with Dr. Wilson
yeah,
about other things. And can you just one of the things he talked about was the effect of stress and that on vitamin C. And I thought that was really fascinating as far as the amount of vitamin C you have to take if you're stressed and all the rest, just because of you're talking about nutrient depletion
yeah,
and that
yeah.
sort of stuff.
When you're under stress, both vitamin C and vitamin B complex, the body use up a lot. One of the area that vitamin C's get used up is the whole immune system support.
Yep.
And so the body will use more vitamin C to keep up the immune system to protect from the infection. And at the same time, you're in the fight or flight mode. So the body keep producing a lot of energy and use up a lot of vitamin B complex. And that's where
Wow.
you see that, people are low in vitamin C and people low in vitamin B complex. And then later on, you got exhausted because you don't have enough vitamin B to keep fueling the, mitochondria, the energy power plant. And you start getting actually dry skin and cut easily, etc. Easy bruising. Those ones are actually sign of vitamin C deficiency because
Interesting.
vitamin C help make collagen and stuff that keep the skin flexible, keep the skin moist, blood vessels, flexible, all of that.
Excellent. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next thing is how do you fix it, right? And I have this thing that I tell people and they laugh at me. I said, you know, your don't worry about your stress. That's your mom's job.
Yeah, right.
So that
Oh,
when
man.
I said that, everybody laughed, and it's true, right? As a parents, we worry about our kid. So we have to look at it and say, hey, let's our parents worry about our stuff. We should not stress about it. And
Mhm.
one of the thing that it was interesting, I've been telling people since 2009 that if you are stressed, you force yourself to laugh
Yeah.
and that will relieve the stress. And I read the study way back then. It's called laughter yoga, and I never knew it actually existed. But I read the couple of studies and saying, hey, you put people in the room for 15-20 minutes and force them to laugh, and after 20 minutes, their stress level will go down. Well, guess what? When I was in Whistler attending a Tony Robbins event, he literally brought the physician from India over the Zoom who's actually created the laughter yoga.
Love it.
Oh,
We had half an hour of laughter yoga leading by this physician from India on the big screen, and the whole room, 300, 500 people, we were laughing, like pointing at each other and laughing. And it was really interesting and it was a lot of fun. Initially was like, weird, but after 5 minutes or so, everybody was pointing at everybody and laughing and looking at things and laughing at things. And like, doesn't matter. Every
It's
little
the
thing
best.
you see, you laugh at it.
Laughter is the best medicine, right?
Oh,
I love
absolutely.
laughing. I
Oh,
absolutely
Yeah.
love laughing. And
Yeah.
believe
So,
me, go ahead.
yeah. No, so, that's the easiest way to do, right? The easiest thing to do to relieve the stress is just laugh at stuff. Like I laugh at myself last Thursday. That's why like Nom said, oh, you didn't look stressed because I'm just laughing like, yeah, Gremlin got my tag. I can do anything. So I'll just let it go. So
Hmm.
and also, of course, for other people is going for a long walk. Like we're getting our spring, we're getting better temperature coming. Hopefully, we can go out and walk type of thing, or reading, taking a one bath, listening to the music, whatever it works that relaxes you. I know some people will say, "Oh, eating relaxes me." That's not the right thing. You
yeah.
have to make sure you eat the right stuff. Like,
Yeah.
stress eating, a lot of people go to carbohydrate and quick sugar and all of that, it's gonna make you gain weight. So if you're gonna eat, then you need to eat protein and vegetables to get replenish the nutrients and energy that your body is using up. So
Yeah.
uh, for me, it's listening to music, going for a walk, going to the gym like Willet's is,
Hmm.
doing type of thing. For me, is meditation. I know Willet's one time you talk about, yoga classes. Yeah. If that works for you, go to yoga classes or do stretching at home, whatever, gardening.
Yeah.
So there's many different things that you can do.
Did you say
And
gardening?
yeah,
You did say
yeah,
gardening. That's
yeah.
stressful. That's
Yeah.
stressful.
For
I
you it
love
is.
it. See,
For you it
that,
is. For us, it's not. It's
yeah, I love it. I love gardening.
love
So
working in the yard. Yeah.
summertime, I will be outside,
Yeah.
paddling in my perennial garden and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's why I said everybody is different, right? For
Yeah.
me, when I'm stressed, I can go to the gym because I'm already exhausted. So I won't go to the gym. Like for you, as you're always, sports person, professional,
Yeah.
athlete. So that's your thing.
I know.
And
I'm
it's great.
always on the go. I'm
Yeah.
always on the go. I
Yeah.
have to do that. And if, like you said, if I'm stressed, I'm gonna go to the gym or I'm gonna do
Hmm.
something.
Yeah.
Running, no. Yoga, no. Because I mean, yeah, I would just if I take yoga or meditate,
Hmm.
that means I'm thinking about it just a little bit
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
too much. So
Exactly.
I go
Yeah.
to the gym, get a nice workout, and if need be, you know, I'll just stay there until I feel really really good about
Yeah.
That's
myself,
Yeah.
and
good.
then go back. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, the other thing is again is making sure that you're eating properly, right? When I was stressed the first 5 years of my, business career, I wasn't eating properly either because I'm stressed. I'm looking for quick stuff. So I'm eating like, fast food and fried chickens and fries and all of that because give me quick energy. And I like that. I love that. I ate all of that. And from the beginning, as a child growing up, I never liked vegetables. So it works for me. I didn't eat vegetables for the first 5 years. It's just, all fast food stuff. And until I got sick. And I'm like, okay, I need to eat properly. I have to eat, good proteins and I need to eat vegetables and stuff. So my breakfast switched to eggs and, scrambled eggs and stuff. And I switched to coffee instead of having cereal and stuff. And then making sure that I have greens, vegetable at least, if not multicolor. And gradually, I teach myself to eat more vegetables. And then,
no,
of course, avoiding glutens. Like you can train yourself. Mindset is a big thing. And I'm sure well, that's,
yes,
being a professional football player, before you go into the game, your mindset, you're already, like you said, okay, I'm going to hit that person,
yep,
right? And I'm going to run that many
Run through it.
yardage.
yep,
And you're already set in your mind. You already see what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, all of that. The
yes,
same thing. For me, as I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat the vegetable because I'm going to feel this way, that way. And I push myself. So now I will not have dinner without any vegetables. I want vegetables now because I've trained myself. And you can do that with anything in life. Like Tony Robbins always said, mindset is 80%.
hmm,
That if you can overcome your mindset and what you're going to do and how you're going to live, all of that, the rest is 20%. So, and then, you know, I have a list of like gluten. You gotta watch the gluten depending on, if you have a sensitivity, etc. And then environmental toxin. We have, more and more chemicals are in the environment. So how do you keep yourself clean and drinking more water, like we talk about hydration, etc. And then mold is now becoming more and more uh, issue with a lot of people with the most sensitivity, and you just have to kind of make sure that see if you have mold in your house. If so, what do you do? Because that's contribute to extra stress. And then I'm not gonna list all the supplement I've talked about. B complex, there's vitamin C, there's omega. So if anybody wanted more detail, I have an ebook that you can download there. Or if you like, you can book the complimentary strategy call with me, and then we can discuss and see where you are at, what you need to do, or what you can do, type of thing. But sort of, so that's why I wanted to kind of end my slide presentation, because half an hour,
Yep.
which is pretty good. And so I'm just going back to you and Norm and Willa. Says that, what do you do for to relieve the stress? I know Norm's like water, and listen to Jimmy Buffett song, and I know Willis, you go to gym. Anything else that?
Oh, yeah, I just want to say the everything that you guys talked about, I do to a certain extent, but probably one of the biggest things when I first listened to Tony Robbins, probably 35 years ago, I don't even know how long it was, but he said something that motion is emotion.
Yeah.
And I'll say to anybody that's listening right now, if ever you're feeling a little bit stressed, a little bit down, a little bit whatever, if you can do 20 minutes, even of a good walk or something like that, for me, it's like, wow, it just motion is emotion.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to sit at home or you're going to sit in your thing and feel sorry for yourself and pay what they call the plum song, the poor little old me song, you just get up, you start moving. Willard, you go to the gym, you start moving, you start doing stuff. And physiologically, it's impossible for your body to not produce. I mean,
Yeah.
when you're exercising, right, Dennis and Willard,
Yeah.
there's certain hormones, there's certain things that are released that your body has to do for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, it's a beautiful way to get to just change everything. Motion is emotion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you saying about the change, right? With me as becoming the new deputy leader of the Liberal Party,
Yeah.
I had to get out of my box, so to
Yes.
speak, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do things that I normally didn't do on a week to week basis, right? I'm doing more speaking engagements and
Yeah.
things of that nature. So it's not stressful. It's actually some of the things I like to do because I do have something to say to the people who will come out to listen to me. And so it is now coming full circle because I was at the River Heights constituency just on Sunday, and talking to some of the people there, including the president of the party, and um, I guess I did something right. I got a standing ovation and things of that nature. But
That's great.
those are some of the things that I try to do to relieve myself in terms of the stress. Yes, I'm going to think about what I'm going to say, whatever. But as I get more and more involved in it, I know exactly what I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it, depending on the groups. And I just go out and do it. And it's not as stressful as I imagine it would be maybe 2 or 3 months down, you know, back then. But
Yeah.
you start getting used to things, and I think when you're getting used to things, that relieves a lot of the stress as well.
Yeah.
So, like I say, being active is one of the best stress relievers for me personally, right? Like you mentioned, the gym, debating, those kind of things. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Definitely. It's again repetition, right? Whatever you want to do, you need to do doing it in repetition to the point that you become subconsciously confident.
Yes.
Then that improve the stress also. So it's again, what do you need to do to improve your stress?
Yeah.
And there's different thing, different way that you can do, making sure that you can, one of the thing that I like, the key thing that I tell a lot of people is the food, and
Hmm.
also, getting enough sleep, right? Making sure that your gut is functioning properly, that you feeding good food, and then you're trying to get a proper amount of sleep. those two are huge thing. And there's some supplement like vitamin B complex, vitamin C, magnesium, those, basic stuff to making sure that you're supplying it, supporting it enough nutrients for your body so that it can uh, help you with the stress management better. And then the rest is the lifestyle,
Right.
like we all said, meditation, exercise, going for a walk, listening to the music. For me, one of the other thing is like I love music. So
Me
I
too.
would, when I was in high school, when I get stressed, I will go for a drive and
Yeah.
I will crank up the music in the car
Yeah.
and like, until my ear hurt.
Absolutely.
And then drive around for half an hour, and then you forget about everything, you just start singing and everything, then you come back home and then go back to study or whatever.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that singing, but I'm not going to chew my food for maybe about
Have
We'll
20
you
or
tried?
get
30
you
times
yet.
there.
We'll get you yet. We'll get
Haven't you
you yet.
tried it? You have
I
to.
have to I have to bring it up. No, I tried it. I tried
And
it. You
not
know
bad.
what? You know what? It's very stressful, right? How many am I at now? I'm still going.
you
That's
know
it's
the
it
interesting,
is.
the interesting thing is that when I was in high school, one of my buddy was in Army Reserve. And he's actually told me that when they have a mass dinner, right? These army dinner with the uniform and whatever,
Yes.
they were told that after one mouthful, you need to put your knife and fork down and
Oh,
chew.
oh,
What do you
And you
mean?
cannot keep
Yeah.
shoving it. If you do that,
Oh,
they
okay.
lose point. Like
Wow.
mm,
military taught him that. So he's the one that since we were in high school, he was in the reserve. So he was the one that already telling me that you need to chew your food in these dinner
and
event. If you don't put down your food and you don't chew properly, you get hauled into the uh, office and why are you do this? Why you not do that? All of that, their etiquettes.
yep.
When I was young, you're sitting there at the table, you're
Yeah.
eating, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you're wolfing it down as quickly as you can, right? You want
Yeah.
to go for seconds,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
doing that, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you know, my parents never told me, you know, she did say chew your food right, before you choke.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree, right? So if that was something she was trying to tell me, chew your food at least 20 or 30 times, you're going to meet two men in the future, and they're going to tell you to chew your food, right?
See,
See,
there's a subliminal messages.
You know what? You're right.
just, just keep
Yeah.
in mind. Well, just keep in mind. Well, there. I can't remember what the percentage is. It's either 70 or 80% of the digestion is done from
In the
chewing.
mouth. Yeah.
So the mouth, if you don't do it properly, then you've got the rest of the system that just can't keep. So you think about how much, how you break the particles down, all the rest is in the mouth. So
I think I chew it or cut it up in small pieces while I chew it, and
yeah,
so I'll let the inside take care of it.
there you go.
But I'm not gonna chew for
But
20 or 30 seconds,
but you can always have a beautiful smoothie, and then you're good.
Yeah.
and I have it all the time. Our
There
our
you
fermented
go.
our fermented greens,
Yeah.
power drink, protein drink is
Yeah,
the best thing you know I've had. I've been taking,
Thank
and
you.
I
yeah,
mean, I just absolutely love it, right?
Yeah.
And I know my son is taking it, and I know um, Domi is also taking it as well, right? But
beautiful.
they can't.
No, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
they
Yeah.
can't say anything, and oops,
No, of
I
Yeah.
course
shouldn't have
not.
said anything. Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean,
but
I think we're going to change the name to protein instead of protein power drink.
yeah,
Yeah.
hey, well, I just say it, because when I have mine in the mornings, I'm good to go, right? I'm back up to 227, unfortunately, but it's not.
It's a stress.
Yeah, yeah, it could be the stress, but but it's also me working out my legs and things of that nature. That I'm doing a lot more in the gym. I can't do my upper body still because because of my shoulder. I haven't
Yeah.
been cleared yet to do that. But uh, you know, it's keeping active. It's keeping everything going. And like I said, I'm not chewing my food all that much, but
Yeah. Well, I
the
need to
protein drink.
yeah, I need to get you into my office and do the body composition and see where
Oh
your
yeah.
fat
Oh,
percentage
yeah.
and
You
where
know
your
what?
muscle.
Do you still have the the last time I did that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you still have that?
it's in the machine. Yeah, it's
Everything.
You know,
recorded. Yeah.
I would like to
Yeah,
see that to see
definitely. Yeah.
what
Let's
happened.
see what
Okay.
happened. Yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
absolutely.
hi,
Let me go
absolutely.
Yeah.
work out a little bit more so I
Yeah.
can.
Well, on that
Uh,
note,
Yeah.
gentlemen, it's been great talking to you and sharing these information and good to laugh at each other and you
Stress
know
release.
stress release absolutely. And for anybody online, if they have any question or comment, absolutely put it on Facebook, or like we're right now live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and even Instagram.
Yep.
So you can comment, put the question down, and we'll do our best to answer your question. And if you want a little bit more detail, there's a ebook download there. And if you want to talk to me one-on-one, you can book complimentary strategy call with me, and then we can discuss, see what help you need and where you are at with your health and wellness. Until then, we will come back in 2 weeks, and I'm trying to get a speakers, different speakers on, but trying to coordinate it a little bit. So sooner than later, we'll have a different speaker on with us also. The first one I'm hoping is fasting. Jen Stevens, fasting specialist that I've emailed, and we're trying to coordinate when she's available. She may or may not be able to come on live. If not, we're gonna record and we're gonna share that on one of
Good,
our
good.
calls. So
Perfect.
Okay.
yeah, and I have a functional gynecologist and staff that in our group that I'm connected. So I'm talking to them, and this year's gonna be a few more different guest speakers and stuff, and share different information. So
Okay.
Absolutely. Great.
All
great,
right.
yeah,
Happy first day of spring, everyone.
Yeah,
absolutely,
no
yeah,
kidding.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And make sure chew your food. You
yes,
too.
absolutely. Good
All
night,
right.
gentlemen.
Right.
Good night, guys.